How's it going? This is Hoiman, and this week, I've been trying to change the way I kind of think about things this week. So basically, I'm trying to get into more of a mindset of go with the flow, because I just feel that I just kind of tend to overthink and overanalyze pretty much everything, even when it's supposed to be something basic or simple. I tend to keep overthinking it, overanalyzing it, and making it overcomplicated and then that just kind of brings my mood down and stuff. Like, I guess for example would be like if my mum were to say we'll go out for dinner or something, my mind immediately goes to like who are we going with, what's the occasion, where are we going to, what time. And I know these things are kind of natural things to think about when you do go out for dinner or something like that, but I kind of overanalyze it. She'll tell me who and I'll be like, okay, why specifically this person? Why all of a sudden go out for dinner with them? Why this place? And I just tend to just overthink and overanalyze everything to the point it just kind of becomes a burden on me, and it just kind of like brings my mood down, makes me overthink, and I'm not able to focus on what I'm currently doing. And I just get too strict with myself for some reason. And I guess that's just like a natural way of how the human brain works, I guess. Like, I've been reading up online about going with the flow and stuff, and it does state that people's brains do naturally tend to kind of overthink things. And even just me explaining all this and just saying all this is kind of part of the problem as well, because apparently like that's quite a common what's the word, it's quite a common thing for people who overthink too much. They tend to over explain everything and just kind of like mumble on and blabber and stuff. But basically I'm trying to kind of break out of that kind of way of thinking. Like, whenever I meet new people, firstly I have social anxiety, but then secondly I kind of keep thinking, like, I'll be thinking like, okay, will this person become an actual friend? How often would I be able to see this person? I'll be instantly wanting to know almost everything about them, because it feels like I need to know that person really, really well before I can start just to start feel comfortable around them, I guess. And it's like, that way of thinking for me just really brings me down. Like, it really makes me not even enjoy like meeting new people. Like, I want to meet new people and make friends, but with this overthinking and just overcomplicating everything makes me really hesitant to get to know new people. Just because I keep thinking there's like this certain expectation, or like I just don't know how long this person is going to be in my life for. Shall I basically open up or expend my time with this person? And that is just what I'm trying to change, really. Like, part of going with the flow in the advice I read is that people come in and out of your lives. Some people are in your life longer, and some are in for like a little while or a few years, and then they move on, and then you move on as well. And yeah, that is sad. Like, if I were to make friends with people and then a few years later we just go our separate ways and we don't talk, like, that does make me sad. But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to change that way of thinking. Like, I need to learn not to be so attached or just plan everything out with meeting new people, and just need to kind of learn to kind of let go, I suppose. Like, for any reason or not, or you know, for any event, people can just leave your life, and that's not really, I'd say most of the time it's not something that you'd really have control over. And I guess that's something that I'm trying to change my mindset to kind of make it easier on myself to be able to let go and not overthink or overcomplicate things when meeting new people, or just in anything in general. Like, part of going with the flow is to be in the now. So, an interesting quote I read about going with the flow, I can't remember the name of the person, but she basically said, if you have depression, then you're living in the past. And if you have anxiety, then you're worrying about the future. But if you're at peace, it means you're living in the now. And I do kind of get what she's saying. I mean, in terms of like depression and stuff, like, you know, that's, yeah, I've developed depression and mental health because of what I went through as a child. So, yes, in a way, yes, I am depressed because of the past. But I guess I feel where the thing differs, and that is that depression and mental health is also a a disability or an actual illness. And even though I'm not always thinking about the past and the things that made me have mental health to begin with, even though I'm not thinking about that often, it doesn't mean that I don't have depression or mental health, because it's become so serious that what happened in the past, it's given me that as an illness, basically. But I do get what she means in terms of, you're living in the past if you're feeling depression. So I do get what she means. And then the other part, you have anxiety, means you're worrying about the future. That I completely agree with. Like I always worry about the future pretty much constantly. Like if you've been following me these past few videos, I've been saying how I kind of want to kind of take control of my life a bit more and, try and find a job, try and move out and be a bit more independent. And all that falls under the worrying about the future. And because I'm not really able to do that stuff, it just made my mental health deteriorate rapidly. It just makes me worry again. My worries about the future continues, therefore I have anxiety. So I do definitely agree with that part. And the part about if you feel at peace, then you're living in the now. So I get what that means. It basically means that you're living your life right now in this second. So you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're just focused on what you're doing now. And basically just enjoy what your current life is or what you're doing in this moment. And it's like, that's kind of what I want to change my mindset to. And I don't mean as in like, not every moment of the right now of your life is going to be enjoyable or happy. But it just means that just focus on what you're doing now in the present moment and just take it one step at a time and just live in the now rather than be stuck in the past or worry about the future. And that is kind of like what going with the flow kind of mindset is all about. And that's what I'm trying to kind of get to. Because I just feel like the way I like overthink and overanalyze everything and just kind of plan out everything, like when I meet new people, I just plan out like what sort of, how long are we going to know each other and stuff. That technically, really speaking, all of that is pretty much out of my control. But yeah, it's just something that I'm trying to kind of change my mindset to, just because the current mindset I'm on it just places too much weight and burden on myself, not just physically but also mentally. Like it's just so energy draining, and then I overthink and that consumes more energy and that can make me feel really low and depressed as well. So it's just something I'm trying to change, and that's much easier said than done. But so one of the advice to try and go with the flow of that mindset is to focus on your breathing. So focus on your breathing patterns, recognize when it increases speed or decreases speed. Recognize how many beats your heart is pumping per second. Or when things do just get too overwhelming, just take deep breaths and enter like mindfulness, basically. But yeah, it's like I've spent all this time talking about it, and it's such a difficult thing to explain, really, of what I'm trying to achieve. It's quite hard to explain it in words, but I think I overall got the point across. So yeah, for the last few days I've been trying to kind of go with the flow and just let things naturally happen as the way it does in my days, rather than fight against it or try and structure something that I want in a specific way. I'm just trying to let go a bit more, free up my mind, and just let things naturally happen and go with the flow. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to achieve. But moving on, so I mentioned I've been attending a social group every week to meet other people who also have like mental health and social anxiety and stuff like that. And I've been to 3 sessions so far, and I was planning to go to the one this week, but the host recently informed all of us that he's going through some difficult things in his life and isn't able to host. And so this week, or until further notice, the groups are going to stop for now. And it's like, on one side, it's a shame that the groups will be discontinued for a bit. But at the same time, I feel it's important to remember that the host is a person as well. You know, even though he's the host of the group, he's still a living person with real world issues and things that he needs to deal with as well. So, you know, this is one of those things that can't really be held, but to me it's very understandable. So yeah, until further notice, the groups won't really be going on for now. But yeah, aside from that, so far this week I've still just been working on my book. So I did a lot of drawings last week, and now I'm rereading through the first 2 chapters again. And it's still just, I have a lot of like ideas for the book, but a lot of them seem to conflict with each other and they might not work well. So I'm still kind of really in like undecided about how the story is going to unfold. But I am still like enjoying it. Like, I am still having fun actually writing it and doing the drawings, even though there's a lot of drawings and I thought there would be. I'm still enjoying sketching out the characters and stuff like that. But yeah, aside from all that, it's been quite a typical week for me, I'd say. But yeah, if anything else comes up throughout the week, then I'll be sure to report it. But if not, then, you know, I guess that's it for this week. So I guess that's pretty much it for this week. So hopefully I'll see you next Saturday. That's it for this video. My name is Hoiman, and please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And remember, always look forward, keep hope alive, and remember, you're somebody.